Good afternoon and welcome back, everybody. Really appreciate you taking the time to join us today. Right now, what we wanted to do is really kind of cap things off and bring together all the conversations we've had throughout the day, which included the dynamics journey to the cloud and why that's important for businesses that are on legacy technologies. We also talked a lot about how do we extend the value of those legacy those in-cloud dynamic solutions through integration with third-party ISVs, business process workflows, robotics process automation, advanced analytics, and more specifically, AI and generative AI and Microsoft's Copilot technologies. And so we thought a great way to kind of bring all that together was to bring a Microsoft veteran, someone who's been working with Microsoft for a long time. And I think we could argue a person that's been involved in some of the most critical work that Microsoft's done over the last 15 years, specifically around Azure in the cloud, and specifically over the last 5+ years in the dynamic space. And her work and the stuff they've been working on is really setting us up for, I think, the AI revolution. Because when we talk about AI, we've seen some really interesting things, but where AI becomes really important is how it interacts with the current technologies we use to run our businesses, the ERP software, the customer relationship software. And we've invited Lori Lamkin to come in and have a conversation with us about that and that journey and some of the possibilities. And so we're really excited to have Lori with us. And Lori, would you like to join me?
Thanks, Bob. Yeah, I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, we really appreciate you taking the time. I think anybody who knows Microsoft knows that this is the busiest time of the year as you guys are kind of finalizing your fiscal plans for next year. And with everything going on with generative AI and specifically Copilot, and everybody I talk to at Microsoft is working really fast and furiously to get that technology implemented in ways that all of us, the Velosios of the world, as well as our clients, can take, and ingest into their organizations and make their organizations run better. So we know it's a critically busy time. So we really appreciate you taking the time to join us. So on our agenda, as I kind of alluded to already, I think we just really want to kind of bring it together, right? We've spent a lot of time talking about Microsoft Dynamics. With Lori here, we really wanted to focus in on the CX solutions, right? So the CRM, marketing automation, the whole area there, and specifically how we can use those technologies to enhance our client experience, right? And especially as we're using AI. We believe that AI will probably be the most impactful thing that any of us in our careers, work with, how it changes our jobs, our industry, and our businesses. And so Lori and I, we want to kind of run through a conversation. We do have some slides too and a couple demos. We really want to kind of bring that all together and help you understand the possibilities and where this is all going. I know we have a Microsoft presenter here, but I think one of the things that's interesting about where Microsoft is at right now is they have a true leadership position. Now, a lot of companies are out there talking about AI, but few have the integrated technology stack and the lead in AI enabling it like Microsoft does. So I think this is going to be a really interesting opportunity for Microsoft to be a leader in the market, and the people who are invested in the Microsoft ecosystem, I think, are going to disproportionately benefit from what Microsoft's doing. So Lori, I hope you kind of guide us through this conversation and kind of take us through that. So I really appreciate you being here. So let's think about where do we get started? Over the last 9 months, there's been an explosion on AI concepts, and the headlines are all over the place. And I'll bring up a slide here. You can kind of see some of the headlines that I think everybody has seen. I'm kind of curious, what all does this mean, right? I mean, this kind of came out of nowhere over the last 12 months. The revolutionary leap forward in AI. So I'm kind of curious, Lori, from your perspective, what does this mean, and specifically, what does it mean to how we, evolve and deliver our client experiences to our customers?
First of all, we see this as a major sea change on the same level. The AI transformation is bigger than the transformation to the cloud. It's going to change the way people work with computers, the way they interact with them, and open up all kinds of new opportunities. And so we just think this is a fundamental sea change at the level of the graphical user interface of the early 90s. And so what that means to customer experience in particular is that how can we use this how can we look at all of the promises that have been made in this area in the past? How can we look at all the pain that we've suffered with and our customers have suffered with? How can we really create amazing connections between companies and their customers, and at the same time deliver a great employee experience working with CRM tools? Like, I feel like right now there's all of this economic uncertainty and dealing with trying to do more with less and getting the most out of employee productivity and their employees. And really what we're seeing is the pathway through that uncertainty is an investment in technology and an investment in something that is accelerating the delivery of all of these promises that we are looking for and we have been looking for here to, in the end, increase your loyalty, your customers' loyalty with your company, and increase your employees' delight and satisfaction so as they interact with your customers. They're truly present and knowledgeable and can make those connections that represent your brand.
Yeah, I don't think, I know at, Velosio, we're radically changing our customer service model, client experiences. And I don't think we have a client that doesn't worry about that as well. I think every customer of ours and our clients, probably says we don't do a good job connecting all the dots. Right? And so I think, the client experience is really central to what we're doing, and look forward to the possibilities of, some of this technology, bringing it all together in a way that's always been difficult. One thing you mentioned that was interesting is, before we jump into what the clients ultimately want to get and benefit from, is the employee perspective. COVID has changed what employees need, right, and what they're demanding. So what are you seeing when it comes to what employees are demanding, and how do you think the AI and CX will help that?
Yeah. We've done a lot of research into this area because what we found is a lot of times what the CRM tools are really just tracking tools to collect what employees are doing and doesn't necessarily really assist them in getting their job done. It's more of a data collection engine, which can put another task on the employee's plate. And so we recently conducted a survey, the Microsoft Business Trends Survey, where we found that more than 8 out of 10 workers wanted tools and solutions to help them be more agile in their customer conversations, automate daily tasks, make information more accessible. They just want help getting their job done. And more than 7 in 10 say they want the tools to work together with the collaboration software they already use, such as Outlook and Teams. And so they want to be able to share that content with others and get things done in the flow of their work. And so we are very excited to be able to, lean into this, because we believe that the employees and what they need is completely achievable with just a little bit of focus. And I always say, if I can collect data from my car, data from my fridge, data is emanating from everywhere, why can't we just get it from sales reps and customer service reps just getting their job done? Of course we can, but the key to that is making sure that the tools are providing value and helping them get their job done. And then the data that's collected is just up to date and accurate. And that's better than we've ever seen in the past with CRM tools. When you put a manual task on people, you're going to have a bit of a problem with data accuracy and completeness.
Yeah, it's interesting. You kind of brought together a topic. During our introduction session, we talked about strategy and the intersection of how the client experience and the employee experience are kind of interact, right? And they're kind of one. And as we led this session off, we talked about the client experience and why that's so important. But I think what a lot of people fail to recognize is that when you're not delivering a good client experience, your employees are really frustrated as well, because they want to deliver that success, and when they can't do it because the systems, the processes, or the sharing's not there, it's a big problem. So there's an intersection, a client experience and employee experience that's really important for us. So one of the things we've been talking a lot about during our sessions is the concept of doing more with less, right? And I'm kind of curious, as we look at the Microsoft Dynamics CX solutions and applications, what are your thoughts around that? What are you driving towards or trying to deliver that helps do that constant thirst for more, for less in what we do?
Right.
innovation come
Well,
up?
I mean, of course, it's together with partners like yourselves. I mean, the goal here is to provide an experience to your customers that is, we had a major change happen here that technology provided. That in the past, when we tried to reach customers at scale, we just had to blast out communications, and you can see that with all the spam you delete from your inbox every day.
Yeah.
But now we have this amazing opportunity not just to interact with customers based on what they look like, but based on what they're doing and what they're doing now. And that creates a more conversational experience that then helps increase that connection and make you feel a lot more of a personal experience tuned to just you. So we not only help your customers feel connected, but we also turn that around and make your employees
Right.
ready to engage and connect both with each other through the collaboration experiences that we can have in context on what they're working on, but also with our Copilot experiences that help assist you with information and action every step of the way. And not like the times of the past where I believe CRM tools tried to take every bit of data they had and put that in front
Yeah.
of your face so that you're sitting there going, oh my gosh, there's all this data. What do I even look at? I can't even pay attention to talking to my customer. But really in context, because we know what's happening in the conversation, whether that be written or whether that be something, verbal, we can really help assist you every step of the way, get the most out of every customer interaction.
Yeah, and I think we're gonna have a demo or two later, so I think if people be interested in seeing some of that. It's interesting conversation when we talk about client experience, because when we're talking about it at this level, it sounds so easy. Just connect all the dots and communicate and be aware. But there's lots of challenges with that, and I'm kind of curious. What are the biggest challenges you see in connecting the overall customer experience?
Well, I think this slide really says a lot. I mean, I think that when you think about how an organization, uh, uh, you know, or how a company organizes itself, I think about you have a sales department, you have a marketing department, you have a service department, you have these separate organizations, separate hierarchies, and typical CRM systems also are delivered that way with separate tools for these different personas and organizations and separate databases as well. So it's really easy for companies to just act and operate and have data about their own silo of activity. But the thing is that customers don't act that way. They're going all over the place.
Right.
They're having to restate their situation every time
Mhm.
based on, are they on the website? Are they trying to make a purchase? Are they coming in and getting an issue resolved and getting transferred around, or hanging up and dialing somebody? And it's just like, wow, being able to provide some cohesion, despite whether it's a new day or a new call or a new department, is just what customers expect when interacting with a company.
Yeah, and I could, back that up. I know from all the clients we work with, it's, integrating these three areas, from a process and data perspective
Yes.
is really complex and challenging. Can you give me example of, Dynamics 365 CX solutions and how they're like, bringing this together, right? Demystifying the problem, if you will. Can you give some examples or,
Yeah,
as how to
yeah. I
kind of
mean,
bring the silos together?
yeah, first of all, I mean, the fact that our sales, marketing, service, different applications are all on the same platform in Dataverse is just life changing.
Mm-hmm.
I think with other systems, you need to build integration between sales and marketing, for example. So with our system, given if you have permissions, you have access to data to know that your customer has received these marketing campaigns, they've opened these emails, they've interacted with the website. There's all this information just available to you just out of the box, that because it's all built on Dataverse, we have this inherent cohesion. And then, of course, we realize that you might have other systems in play as well, or just data that you're storing from homegrown solutions, or your ads information, or lots of things about your customers that maybe aren't in your core CRM applications. And that's where customer insights comes in, where it goes and pulls in disparate data across your organization and unifies that into a set of profiles. So you can really have a complete 360-degree view of what each and every one of your customers is doing and how they're interacting with your company and out in the world. Yeah. And then lastly, what we really do is tie this all together with customer journey orchestration. This is what I was talking about, which is transformed from a classic marketing automation where you take a segment of customers and you send them some communications, to this really end-to-end, across departments, across the whole customer experience, in a conversational and customer-led connection. So that, when I think about one of our customers is Tivoli theme parks in Denmark, and basically they are enabling customers to walk into the theme park and get customized communications, and whether they're loyalty members, and then whether they, knowing what kind of concessions they like or rides they like, being able to really tune a real-time experience for them that makes them feel even more special when engaging with your company. And so all of this, comes together. This cohesive experience is awesome. But it's not alone to just have this automated sort of experience. It's also about the human beings that are talking to your customers. So your sales reps, your customer service reps, we take all of this cohesion and then empower the data and the recommendations to your seller, to your customer service agent, so that, for example, as your seller, like while they're prepping for a call or while they're in a call, or as they wrap up with a customer or send follow-up communication, they are just assisted every step of the way to really enhance their productivity and also make them more effective with each and every customer.
It's going to be exciting to see what happens. I think, especially a lot of people on these calls are probably, more tied to the business process, accounting operations of their organizations. But if your organization's trying to grow, you have to be doing some form of marketing automation. Marketing automation is hard, right? And I think with the AI integration and all that, it's going to be a game changer for that as well. One other thing you said that I think is really important for people to think about on this call is when you go talking about AI, the technical people, one of the first things they're going to say is, "Hey, we can't do that. I'm worried about security. People can't have access to all the information." And I think, Microsoft's in a really interesting position because not only do they have, understand the business apps, right, the dynamic solutions and the Office apps, right? That's very critical to all businesses. But they also, in most situations, are running the technology that does the security and identity management. Yeah. So their ability to triangulate those three things and deliver solutions that not only get you the data, but only give the data you're supposed to have access to is really critical. It's a game changer. And I think Microsoft's done a really good job of kind of proactively, getting in front of that, to make, it's one thing to have these capabilities, but if you can't do it in a secure way, it can't happen. So that's really, you guys, I really think are in a really unique position for that. So one thing I want to pivoting just a little bit, maybe kind of going towards the AI conversation a little bit, as a partner, right? As we're trying to enable customers, we're thinking a lot about, the data, the biz apps, and the collaboration around that, either in the application or around the business processes. And then AI is the, kind of the new big thing. 12 months ago, conceptually people would talk about AI, but now it's like it's expected that it's going to be there and operating in ways that were unimaginable just a year ago. Can you talk a little bit more about the bigger emphasis on AI and what does that mean to you, and what should it mean to us as we're navigating our business plans just like you are right now?
Yeah, I mean, I talked a little bit about how I think it's just going to change every industry and how even people work with their computer. We don't need to write code anymore. We can just talk to our computer. I think it's going to change really at a fundamental level, really everything. But when I think about, customer experience in particular, I think we've been talking about AI for a while, and next best action, and a bunch of things like lead scoring and opportunity scoring. A bunch of AI technology has been around this area for a while. And what we found is that we can get some incremental value out of this in the past, but it requires so much model training and so much data to go through each unique model in order to get the value out of the end. And that's the fundamental change that AI is bringing in CRM, or one of many. But But basically, the fact that the models are trained on generative AI, and trained on the internet of knowledge and prompted by your own CRM data makes it so that the tools can now actually help you and be more informed and knowledgeable right out of the box without a lot of extra training or extra work to connect things together and make things more productive. And so I really feel like we're just at the beginning of looking at new ways for people to be able to amplify their impact or their capability, or to really be able to understand their unique potential by taking a lot of the toil away from their day-to-day work, and also making them proactive and engaged and assisted as they're interacting with customers.
Yeah. So, at Microsoft, and I think everybody on this call, has probably heard this already, but, where the rubber meets the road is something I think you guys call Copilot, right?
Yeah.
So can you tell us what that is? Is it a product? Is it a feature? Is it a service? Can you outline that a little bit for us?
Yeah, we use it in a lot of contexts. Copilot is essentially just a focused experience that shows up inside many of your Microsoft applications. So you could have seen announcements on M365 Copilot, which is a lot of different experiences inside the Office apps. But what you need to do is just kind of think about Copilot as your reliable partner, a skilled collaborator that is there with you every step of the way, working as a tool by your side. And so, basically, it can help you craft really compelling content. It can help you brainstorm fresh ideas. It can help you refine your writing skills. It can help you unlock data that you didn't even know you had, instead of going and calling the IT department to go create a dashboard or give you some information, you can suddenly access data and information that you didn't even know you could do before. So we kind of look at it as a set of experiences powered by generative AI that show up in all of Microsoft applications.
Right. And I think what's amazing for me, some of the stuff that I've worked with, is that, as a CEO of a decent sized company, I have a bunch of questions all the time, and we're trying to optimize our client experience and the workflows and all that. And sometimes you run into a question that is so complex, you're afraid to ask it because of all the work it will create. And I think I've seen a couple demos where I'm like, wow, I don't need to hire that financial analyst. I just need to go write a good prompt, and I'll probably get a decent answer that will at least give me a good answer within hours, maybe minutes, and transform my ability to understand and transact and transform my business in real time. I think that's the game changer. It's not only what you do today, but it's the things you don't even ask for because of the cost or complexity to do it. So really excited about that.
I want to add that it's also, we named it Copilot because that's very intentional. This isn't autopilot. This isn't automation. This is something that assists the human beings. It's not something that, just runs itself and you never know what's going on. So a lot of it is providing recommendations. Should I schedule this for you? Should I summarize this? Here's a summary of what happened. Just really helping you versus going on its own.
Yeah, no, it's fantastic. And one of the things we're doing right now, we have a different team. We have industry teams and product teams. They're all working on kind of dissecting what is the Copilot solution in their area, and then working with our clients to understand what are the best kind of use cases to jump in on, and what do we want to maybe wait a little bit, depending on the readiness. But given your background, I'd sure love to talk about how do you see AI helping us in the Microsoft Dynamics CX sphere? Like, what are the things that you see that will be most impactful for us?
Yeah, so basically, we've talked a little bit at high level about, great, employees are going to be more productive, but we're seeing things go from manually entering tasks and data to just AI-powered data collection, seamless data integration, seamless analysis, and bringing that right to you in the flow of your work, whether you're in Office or Dynamics. It's kind of the power of all this Office data and all of this CRM data kind of coming together for you at the point where you need it. Also, we want to make sure that your customers have amazing experiences with your company. So AI helps us go from this generic one-size-fits-all messaging to this highly personalized content. And like I said, based on what individuals are doing. And what's even cooler about AI is that instead of having to hire some specialist in marketing automation who can essentially be borderline a coder for you to create personalized content and all of this, it's democratizing all of this so that everyone is able to just say in their own human natural language what they're after, and journeys can be authored and content can be authored. And it's just the potential here of creating very complex things in very simple ways opens it up to tons of business users being able to access what was once locked up in the very technical people in the organization or the specialists. And then finally, we're really helping you to leverage the insights in the moment. Like in the past, like we talked about a little bit, you kind of had to, the insights were hard to reach. I had to go hire somebody to go write the query or to create the beautiful dashboard or whatever, that this now can come
You're free to ask.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing. And then it not only that, but we can recommend what insights you should be looking at. And we can help you should be thinking about this, or these stakeholders should be involved, or like a bunch of the business process going from a workflow oriented can come to more of a recommendations as you need it. It's pretty exciting.
Yeah, it's definitely exciting. We had a recent internal use case that we were working on with marketing and with the AI, and it was pretty amazing. With the right prompt, which took, maybe 5 minutes to kind of think about, we got an answer that probably would have taken 8 people 8 weeks to develop and collaborate on. And it was really insightful. It's a, kind of game changer in how much faster we can move. And I think the one thing, not only was it innovative, but it's also kind of put a little fear in us. It's like, hey, we got to move really fast to innovate, because if we're not doing this, someone else is. And I think that's the one thing we all of us need to keep in mind, is that, our competitors, whatever industry you're in, are, the leaders are going to be embracing this technology and transforming the game. And so we're looking forward to, getting this stuff in out there in the wild. So I think you, if I heard the rumor right, you might have brought a couple videos with you to kind of show us some of this stuff kind of in action, if you will. You mind sharing maybe an example or two of some of the things we're talking about?
I would love to. It is super hard to talk about this sometimes at this really high level. And then people think, okay, I don't really get it. Or is this hard? Is this something I need to train my team to use? No, and so I brought some concrete examples, and this is not stuff that is in development right now. This is stuff already available in production with your Dynamics product line. So the first video that I brought is at the beginning of the customer journey. We look at Copilot inside Customer Insights and show how as a user, any user can have a dialogue with the data that's been collected to really better understand their customer base. So let's check that one out.
Martina is a marketer at Campari Group, a worldwide leader in the spirits industry. Campari Group is looking to increase awareness of Negroni Week, an event that celebrates one of the world's greatest cocktails and raises money for global charitable causes. Using Microsoft Dynamics 365 Customer Insights, Martina can review unified customer data to target the best region for an email campaign to promote the event. She believes New York City is a good location and wants to validate her hypothesis. With Copilot and Dynamics 365 Customer Insights, Martina can have a dialogue with her data to discover new customer insights to deliver targeted marketing campaigns. Using simple natural language, she can ask for insights from the Copilot and receive an answer back immediately. She can explore, understand, and predict customer preferences and needs without learning SQL or needing to engage the analytics team. Martina sees the answer to her question quickly, plus other suggested insights such as average age, event attendance history, and product preferences. The Copilot suggests additional questions to Martina, allowing her to uncover other customer data she may not have previously considered. Martina knows that bar owners are critical to campaign success, so dives in further. These prompts aid marketers like Martina to gain new, deeper understandings about their customers in near real time. With these insights, Martina has confidence that she has the right target audience to drive a successful Negroni Week campaign. She's done all this using Dynamics 365 customer insights, allowing her to take charge of her customer data to deliver effective marketing campaigns and unlock more revenue.
So that was one example that we brought kind of in the transforming marketing domain. I also wanted to show a little bit on the sales side. This video is Copilot at work inside Viva Sales. Viva Sales is essentially an experience that goes outside the Dynamics shell into Office and Teams, and in the future, other experiences in the Microsoft family. And basically, it brings the data in the Microsoft 365 graph with the CRM data together to help assist you even as you're in core collaboration experiences, which we know sellers spend the bulk of their time in. And so this is available inside Dynamics 365 Enterprise and above, as well as Viva Sales works standalone with Salesforce instances. So let's show that in action and how we can bring AI into the flow of your work in Office apps.
Microsoft Viva Sales revolutionizes the seller experience. Kelly is a busy seller who gets help from Copilot in Viva Sales. She gets help to craft a response. Viva Sales automatically generates a suggested reply enriched with the content from the CRM data. You can see there is a mention of the product, the number of units, and the price point, all seamlessly taken from the opportunity data and combined with the email context. With the content complete, she can simply copy the message to her email, make any minor adjustments to suit her style, and send. Not only is this far more effective than crafting a message from scratch, but Viva Sales can instantly store and update the insight back into CRM. As we take a look at Daisy, she uses the power of AI to help run world-class customer calls and meetings by taking notes so she can focus on the customer in her calls. Sales Conversation Intelligence in Microsoft Teams captures the key meeting highlights, questions asked, and even follow-ups. Now Daisy can take this data and create a simple follow-up summary across to her customer to build trust on next steps. Using Copilot, she no longer has to create her own follow-up based upon the notes. GPT generates a customer-ready meeting summary in a single click. The response embeds CRM data and previous meeting context for review and validation. This is something Daisy will see across all of the Copilot sales experiences. She can also see the linked meeting to confirm she has the correct context. Now our sellers can go do what they do best and close deals faster.
That's great. Lori, what's great about that one, and my whole career, implementing CRM solutions and talking to sales managers and the end users, is they never agree on what the solution should be, right? The sellers never want what the sales managers want and vice versa. But I think pretty clearly, if you're a seller, you want that stuff because it's going to enable you. And I think if you're a manager, you're going to want that stuff because you're going to be able to get more out of your sellers. So that's going to be, a breakthrough, and it's going to drive enablement, which is always a challenge for CRM solutions where the sellers feels like it's just auditing of their activity. So that's going to be really exciting to see. So question for you, I think, we've both been in the technology business for a lot longer than either one of us would like to admit. The industry, every major vendor is really good at branding and marketing up, new innovation, right? And the new acronym, the new buzzword, and hyping up the market. And everybody's doing that already with AI, and some of it's real and some of it's not, that the others are, pitching out there. What do you think is going to make Microsoft different than the others? And what sets you apart? And as a partner, Velosio, but more importantly, as our clients, why do we want to be invested in Microsoft versus the other, solutions that may be out there?
Yeah, well, just like you've seen with our cloud enterprise trust motions and and comfort for everyone to move workloads into the cloud. We're doing the same thing with AI, where we're taking a very deliberate and measured approach to using AI in our products. And these are really just foundational pillars that we build all of our capabilities around. And we've been investing in this for a long time. We're built in, and it's just part of our fundamental cultural value system at Microsoft to build ethical and responsible use of AI. And we're really putting it into everything we're doing right now. When it comes down to it, we have real durable advantages as Microsoft when it comes to responsible AI. I mean, first of all, it's across all of the Microsoft portfolio. There's data that can be accessed and used for context and prompting into these foundational models. And the training of these models is based on a large set of company-specific terminology, language, culture, communication styles, all of that. And the user experiences can be very borderless between different applications, whether they're productivity applications or communications applications or business apps or even developer tools. And so we have a very seamless experience across. And at the same time, this is very bounded in compliance and data boundaries. We are not moving data around. We are not using data to train large language models and make them better. Your specific company data. We're not sending data to third parties. Data is staying where within its promised data boundaries, including the information staying within your company. And then, of course, you've seen all of the news articles and how ahead we are of the competition with the head start in the investment we have in large language learning models and OpenAI. And we're the first to release a bunch of new capabilities and be able to run all of these large language learning models in Azure. And Azure is that backbone for them. And we have, the GPUs to be able to run them on and be able to really learn and provide that tight integration and rapid deployment, and we'll be able to scale to be able to support our flagship operations with all of the computing power that it requires to be able to run AI for lots and lots of customers and lots of your customers.
Yeah, I think it's fascinating. I think I remember over the years I've read from time to time that people would kind of label Microsoft as a fast follower, right? They weren't the pure innovators that created markets. I think this might be a different time. I think Microsoft's way ahead, and they have just the stack and how the stack's already integrated in the cloud and the compute's already there. I don't know who else can do that, right? Yeah. Have that whole integrated stack from the identity security all the way to the most intimate data and business application that a business might have in the ERP. It's gonna be a really unique opportunity. So, all the demos and all that stuff sounds good, but in the reality is, these are intricate solutions, right? So I'm kind of curious, you mentioned Viva Sales, and I know from talking to people at Microsoft, you implemented, that internally. I'm kind of curious, how did that go? What did you guys learn? And tell us about that experience.
Yeah. Well, I think, first of all, we started by showing this to some of our executive leaders at the company. Judson is our chief revenue officer, essentially, for Microsoft, and runs the biggest, I think, global field sales team in the world. And he just about leapt out of his chair, and he was like, oh my gosh, I want it now. I want it rolled out to everyone in the field. All 60,000 field sellers need this yesterday. And so we really had to scramble ourselves to just go, okay, how do we roll it out? But you can't just flip on a brand new tool for all these people around the globe, because we've got country laws and different ways of doing things. And so there were a lot of questions that came up as part of that process. And so it all started with the excitement that this next generation AI can deliver. But everybody's been playing with things like ChatGPT, but how does it apply to their business? So the first thing is showing them things like these actual demos and making sure that it's there in the product. This isn't, slideware and, fancy focus, smoke and mirrors, but really taking it down to the impact that it'll have on your business and on your people. And then addressing a lot of these questions that we have here around compliance and security and privacy. To answer those questions, we had to do a lot of education, create a lot of documents about our architecture and how we were using this and how large language learning models work, to be able to educate companies on, gosh, what does it do? And is it using my data in ways that I'm comfortable with? And no, it's using your data for you and you only, and not generating some sort of extra learning from it that we're benefiting from. And so just like, and there's also this fear of, oh no, is AI going to take my job? And I think we see that a lot. Or is AI, how do we provide clarity on the value that this is what your sales team, what your customer service team, what your marketing team has always wanted. And as business leaders, we've always wanted, coming to reality and allowing you to connect better and with more customers than you had time to before. Right. So a lot to work through, a lot of blogs and articles and documents that we've been writing, as well as things we're building into the product to increase people's comfort level and make it the acquisition and adoption as smooth as possible. But yeah, so eventually, we've been out. It's out to 60,000 internal employees at Microsoft that engage with customers. And here are some things that we kind of learned here. First of all, is employee success. And we have a huge organization in many different countries and many different markets. And there are these worker councils, that we need to work with that look out for the employee's best interests and ask questions about job replacement and how to use AI and that sort of thing. And so one of the things we learned was just to start that work very early in the process, in terms of engaging these different councils and making sure that they're very comfortable and understand that this is bringing more and this is a great thing for the employees. I think the most successful thing that we were able to do was convince the council that Viva Sales is a tool to help people and get better at their jobs, and the drudgery is gone. And so that the focus on employee success was a huge best practice. The second big area was on security and compliance. We had to demonstrate to a lot of these councils that we're not breaking any privacy rules, and that, we've been updating our product as a result with more granular rollout settings to help turn things on for some countries and not others that don't want to have things like sentiment analysis, for example. And so, also call recording, that was a big thing. A lot of countries, a lot of policies are, even in industries like financial services, they don't always want to record a call. So we've been doing things, to see if we can get transcripts and whatnot without recordings, be able to not store or save that sort of information, and also just make sure we have the right settings so that people are opting into consent and it's explicit and it's recorded and all of that, so that, we're 100% in compliance. And we did roll out really fast. And that's been key. I mean, one of the things that's pretty cool about Viva Sales in particular is you can roll it out to just a few people. You don't have to roll it out to a team or a large POC or a large pilot. You can have one or two sellers in your organization start using it. And so just rolling it out and being able to iterate quickly and get feedback and really lean in to the employee experience has helped us really triage the work, be able to bring that back into the product, and then make sure that everybody was able to get this in their hands as quickly as possible. Because once people's peers started getting it, there was a lot of excitement for everyone to get it, So I think that was pretty fun to be a part of that. But really making sure that we could do that, pilot, learn, and grow rapidly with the demand.
That's really impressive. I mean, I think for everybody on the call, I'm pretty confident none of our clients have 60,000, users on their system. So if you guys are working out the kinks and the use cases and the policy and all that, that helps speed the way for the rest of us to follow you pretty quickly to embrace, part or all of that. And I think that's another important thing you said there. So really great stuff. So unfortunately, we're out of time. I think we could probably keep going. I can't thank you enough. And if you can hear my dog Socks barking right now, he says it's time to go for a walk. But to all of our participants in the conference, we really want to thank you for being here. You're why we're here, right? We're trying to help you deliver the best client experience you can to your customers. And we believe very strongly that Microsoft Stack, the technology, the innovation they're driving is the force multiplier that we all need to be successful. And I understand that sometimes the journey is tough. We don't always know all the things that we need to know or have those experiences. But I think, with a partner like Microsoft and a partner like Velosio, we're here to help guide you through that. Right? We have teams in every one of our solution areas that are evaluating the Copilot technology to that specific product. And we're working with customers today to kind of navigate, what's right and when is it right to be implemented and what's that journey? Are we prepared for that journey? And how do we govern that journey and do the change management? So all those things we're working on already. So if you're ready to start having those conversations, reach out to us. And we're looking forward to helping you on this journey. Like we said during the intro, I think, this probably will be the most impactful revolution or evolution that we've seen in our careers. And I think our goal is to help enable that and put our organizations and our clients and their client experiences in the best foot possible. And I think by doing that, we're benefiting our companies that we work at. We're benefiting our employees and our customers. And so we're really excited about that journey. And Lori, we're excited to have Microsoft as a partner through that. And hopefully maybe next year we can meet again and talk about where we're at. I bet neither one of us can imagine the possibilities that are in front of us. So truly, I guess the theme was right this year, infinite possibilities. So again, thanks to everybody. I appreciate you taking the time, and we'll talk to you soon.